Jonah here, and I'm back with the Supermarket Sunday. Yeah, I'm uploading 2 videos today because, yeah, I did my other one earlier on, and I just watched the motorbikes, and I was like, yeah, man. And I had these absolute bargains that I got from the supermarket, and I totally forgot about Supermarket Sunday. So I should have probably released that other video tomorrow, which is Monday, and just done this one that I'm going to do now today, which is really weird. But yes, I couldn't find or access or do whatever the music that I used to use for Supermarket Sunday. So I apologise. It's back to the kind of one take wonder, although there is going to be a tiny little bit of editing, but no music at the front for this one, I'm afraid. So I was in the supermarket, UK supermarket, Tesco's, and they have like a bargain section, and sometimes it has beers and things. I think a week or maybe 2 weeks ago I did the iceberg Titanic beer, which was, for some unknown reason, I think there was damage to the label or something like that, and they'd reduced it a little bit. But I found 2 clutches. So this is part 1 of a 2 Sunday deal, if you like. So tune in next Sunday for another Supermarket Sunday for the second part of this this review. So I have got, and I've drunk one already of these. So look at this. So I have got Tanglefoot beers. There were 4, and I've obviously drunk one. And they're all sellotaped together. So I think there was some damage to the original packaging, which looks like this. Yeah, so there you go. I think the original packaging was a box, a cardboard box, which is really good, kind of, for the environment, assuming it's recycled, or maybe it was a recycled box, which would be really cool for Badger Beers. There you go, Badger Beers, who make Tanglefoot, the legendary Tanglefoot. But for whatever reason, the box was destroyed. So what they've done, and someone with a tape gun, I mean, Jesus Christ, the amount of tape they've used on this bad boy, absolutely ridiculous. However, there we go. Oops. Reduced, it says, to £3.38p. And like I say, there were 4 of these originally. So I was thinking, 4 cans, 3.30 something. That is well under £1 a can. And I was like, oh my God. Because in my head, and I had this discussion, we'll call it a discussion and not an argument, because yeah, the person involved is long suffering. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ, why are you such a tight-fisted bastard? Well, that's who I am. I've got Scottish blood in my ancestry, and think about money all the time, especially because I don't have any. So my rough calculation was it was sort of about under. It was definitely under £1 per can, which is like, come on. And then when I got home, I got my calculator out, and I worked out that on these prices, it's 84p per can. And I was like, 84p? Jesus, that's amazing. But now this is where I got a bit disappointed. It's still an incredible deal. I've got to separate these somehow in a minute, but yeah, won't worry about that. So I was thinking, oh, that's going to work out at under £1 a pint, which is amazing. But he says, pulling out one of these cans, so these cans are 440 cans. I don't know if you can see that. Come on, focus, Samuel, focus. Hocus pocus, get in focus. Oh, come on, dude. What the hell? There we go, 440 cans at 5% ABV. from Hall and Woodhouse, Blandford Forum, Dorset, Dorset. I was going to say that doesn't sound right. And when I worked out, because I had to multiply it up by 440 to 568, not 500, it actually came out at £1.09 per pint, and I was so disappointed because my aim in life is to try and get back to the days when I first started drinking 30 years ago. And £1 a pint was a good deal, even back in those days. But that is not far off, £1.09 for a pint of this bad boy, because the packaging got destroyed. So yeah, Badger beers, very, very cool. You know I like the Badger beers. So this one is, let's have a look. Our family has always kept its feet on the ground, well, except the night that gave name to our legendary golden ale on that evening years ago in Blandford. To sample, what's this? Head brewer John Woodhouse's latest wonder, which is this beer, Tanglefoot, because he basically fell over, basically because he had a knees up. Deceptively drinkable golden ale, finest barley, Golding and Challenger used there. Give a balance and crisp malt, subtle hop flavour with a pear drop aroma. We shall be the judge of that. But I tell you what, I love this really old school kind of can design. It's even got John Woodhouse signature on there. Badger. Little bit. This hasn't been in the fridge. A little bit tight, so I'm a tiny bit worried. Anyway, this is the beer we're going to do Supermarket Sunday review on today. Didn't explode. Oh, even after me shaking it and undoing it and all that kind of jazz. I tell you what though, from having Hall and Woodhouse using sustainable packaging to then someone at Tesco's using like almost a whole roll of sellotape to stick them together. Don't know how I feel about that. However, I do know how I feel about getting a bargain. And I definitely got a bargain on these. So let us see what we get. I have had this before, and like I said, I couldn't wait yesterday after we came back from the shop. So I sampled one of these last night, and it was very much like the proverbial golden ale that I used to remember from back in the day and I've had before. Whee! Very, very nicely clear. You can see that might be an improvement on my face. And we're probably looking 2 fingers, just under, not quite perfectly white head, but it looks like a lovely fluffy white cloud. And I don't know if you can see, but the carbonation is reasonable. And this is not a nucleated glass. Definitely see me through there. Very interesting. Oh. Now, I don't know about pear drop. I'm definitely getting a kind of zestiness. I am getting the Golding's kind of aroma that I like, but there is something else there as well, a more kind of citrusy, lemony. I call it maybe a lemony kind of thing. I can kind of see what they say with the pear, and that's obviously coming from the Challenger hops. Lovely, lovely jubbly. And what's this, 5%, did I say? So not too bad for a beer that is getting very close to the magic £1 a pint. Oh, my God, you wouldn't believe how excited I was in the supermarket, because I was like, and I had my phone, but I was busy shopping and paying, damn it. I didn't quite get the calculation right, I don't think, but £1.09p a pint, not to be sniffed at. Oh, very nice, very traditional, British style, English style, dare I say. Yeah, definitely in kind of the golden ale. Although you could kind of call this a bitter of some degree, perhaps just a pale ale. For you Americans, this would be a traditional pint of dishwater in my book, and that, my friends, is definitely a good thing. With golden ales, for some reason, and in my day, I used to drink a lot of bitter, normal, bog standard bitter. And the first ones we had back in early 90s, it would be, was probably the Whitbread bitter. Nice stuff. Although we did go to a few beer festivals and have sort of normal American style pale ales. However, the other one were the golden ales, which is this. And probably I would include things like summer ales as well in there, which for me always used to have a little bit more hop presence, a little bit more hop bite, especially at the beginning. So higher IBU rating, International Bittering Unit, IBU. That is definitely what this has. For me, slightly less easy drinking that a pint of bitter would have. And that's slightly different. It's ironic. It's because you would have thought a pint of bitter would be more bitter than, say, a beer like this. But no, it's the opposite way round, which is really weird. And for those of you who are watching this in different countries, America, Australia, etc., in the UK and in England especially, bitter, as a name of a style of beer, is exchangeable basically with pale ale, if you're looking in American style. Although it's usually a lot browner, which is weird because of the types of hops and stuff, the types of malt we use. Cheers. Oh, it's Supermarket Sunday. You guys deserve to have an education on beer. And if you think I'm talking rubbish, click down in the comments and put something in the comments and challenge me. While you're there, if you like this video and haven't bored you enough so far, well over the 10-minute mark now, click like, click subscribe, and you'll see, because you might forget to tune in next Sunday when I'm going to be doing part 2 of this particular beer haul. Hall A, Hall and Woodhouse, which is Badger beer. But this is a really, really nice, quite sharp, quite bitter pint of bitter or golden ale in my book. I am getting some residual sweetness though, especially around the moustache, which I don't know if you've seen, but since the earlier video, I've had a bit of a shave, tidied things up. The one thing I didn't do is trim the tash. It is Movember after all, so I thought, should I grow the tash out a bit? Yeah, why not? Support people with cancer. Yeah, I don't want to go down that fucking route again, because as some of you who don't maybe are newer to this channel, I've been down that route. I had cancer last year, and I'm still doing treatments for it. So yeah, anything where I can raise awareness of cancer, I'm up for it. So this month, Movember, save a bro, grow a mo. Boom. Something about a nice part bitter that kind of makes me kind of relive my youth of drinking beer. And I think the first beers I ever tried, like that we nicked off a friend's dad or whatever, was probably the 80s, sort of the tail end of the 80s. But definitely the early 90s is when we started going out to pubs and drinking beer, probably from about 92, 93, something like that. And whoa, yeah, this brings back traditional beers that are still around today and you can have. Definitely remind me of those old days. Old days spent talking old toot, which I still like doing, as you can well see, with my good buddies, some of whom aren't here anymore, and others kind of lost a bit of touch with. But I can still remember. This has been Uncle Jonah. Cheers and beers. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, part 2 of this Supermarket Sunday haul is going to be next Sunday. So make sure you tune in, watch that video. Please give me a like, because it really does help the channel, which I'm still trying to grow from a few years ago, where I was getting loads of traffic. These days, not so much so. So if you do like what I'm doing, please try and support me. Click like in this video, and we'll see you real soon. Come on!